Hello and welcome to another spooky episode of the Well That's Terrific podcast, brought to you by Tom Cruise
Mr. S.
and this is a podcast about anything and everything horror. I know it's been a while, but we're here. We're back.
Yes, we are. We are here live and in color and a little bit
Yes.
swollen. If you're seeing my face, guys, I got wisdom teeth extracted. That's why it's a little bit swollen here. So, be nice.
Well, if since we're sharing some news, I also got this little bad boy right here.
Oh, that is better
Well,
news than mine. I'll
my,
tell you
my
that
arm,
much. Show that,
my arm
Tommy.
is a little swollen as well.
Tom Cruise has a sick tat on him right now. We'll go into that a little bit later, maybe. We'll go
Yeah, we
into a
will.
little
We'll,
bit more
we'll
depth.
we'll
Yeah,
dive a little deeper. I could get into
yeah,
the nitty gritty and if it hurt or not. But
sick.
we have a couple things to cover this week. No.
Absolutely, a lot of great news. It's the time. It's the summertime, which is great. I love the summer, but it's also summertime where we get a lot of horror news for the fall. The fall is not too far away, so it's a very exciting moment to be a horror fan right now.
Yeah, and there's a lot of sequels in the works, right? I mean, I
A
feel like
lot.
just so many things we've heard.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. Definitely a lot of things. I'm very excited to discuss some things and kind of hear your thoughts for one, and just everyone else who was listening to this.
Yeah, same as well. Let's dive right into it. I
Let's do
think
it.
a topic that I want to start on
Do it.
is actually a game that I'm a big fan of,
Okay.
and I'm excited to play. And they've been teasing in. It's been only like, sorry for the language, but it's been fucking 4 years since the last one. Mortal Kombat one, one.
Yes.
Why
Yes.
the one?
Yeah, you know, it's a game like you mentioned they've teased for a while, and I'm so happy it's Mortal Kombat 1, and my brother's a huge fan as well, probably a bigger fan than I am. I don't like the fact that things kind of got leaked for it to be announced.
Yeah,
Ed Boon loves messing with everyone. Like he's notorious for
that's
that,
what he's
especially on
known for.
Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Mortal Kombat 1, that teaser with the clock kind of jumping from 11 to 1, kind of, you
that was
know,
great,
symbolizes what this
clever,
is going to be. Yeah, I
clever.
think it's great. I think it's cool. Like they're going to Mortal Kombat 1, but not to actually Mortal Kombat 1, the game that we played. It's more of the story itself and kind of,
And
continuing
there's a
Liu
twist.
Kang.
And there's a
Yeah,
twist.
yeah, yeah.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, because there's a lot of details here. So, if you played Mortal Kombat 11, you know that at the end in the story mode, Liu Kang becomes this fire god, and he has access to basically the timeline. And the way they kind of explain this is he kind of reset the timeline.
Right.
And that's why it's called Mortal Kombat 1.
Yes.
But the twist is things have changed.
Yes.
Um, and the first thing that came to mind with this sort of change or this sort of difference is to me Flashpoint. I know they're making a Flash movie, but it's a very similar idea where like you can't you can't like change things. Changing one small thing alters the entire timeline.
Correct.
Um, and one example that I know for sure I actually saw when they made the announcement. Apparently, this time around, I think Melina, her teeth are like a disease or something, and they're
Yes.
twins this time around. I
Yes.
think they were
Yes.
sisters before.
Yeah, and like
Oh,
Sub Zero and Scorpion are brothers.
brothers. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a nice twist.
Yeah, it's their take on it because like let's think about it. No one wants the same games, just kind of redesigned, revamped. Like, we don't want that, but it's the concept is there, but also with their touch, and I think that's awesome. I really do. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think their trailer was pretty dope, and then what was it? Summer Game Fest.
I believe so. Yep.
They released the gameplay trailer. They released more of the questions a lot of fans were asking in terms of cameo fighters and gameplay and how it's going to be, and it looked absolutely great. I am a little bit iffy on the cameo aspect of it personally. I'd rather make it a tag team. I like 2-on-2 action, kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of Mortal Kombat 9. But I guess don't knock it until you try it. But other than that, the graphics look sick. Kenshi's
I think
back. It's a lot.
I think that's the first thing I noticed. The graphics are amazing. Like you can,
Yeah,
the stages are so much more detailed. Like you can see
absolutely.
like the background of the background, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Like
there's like no loading
there's
screen.
a lot
Like
of
they go
layers.
straight to it.
Yeah,
Like
they have
it's sick.
layers. There's a lot of layers. One thing I want to say in terms of like the gameplay, you mentioned cameo characters. I'm a big fan of like the Marvel vs. Capcom series, so I like assists, but this is a
Yeah.
little different. And I like something that at least Ed Wood confirmed is that a cameo character can be a cameo character, but also can be a regular character. I
Right.
thought that was huge
Yes.
because,
Yes. Yes.
like in the Marvel vs. Capcom series, generally, at least early on, they had games where there were only assist specific characters until they eventually moved to like you pick three characters and each character has an assist.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy that in this case, you can play a character and still have that same character as an assist. But it is a little funny or wonky that you can, it's gonna be like Scorpion assisting Scorpion.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm just happy. I'm just happy like you're not condemning a character to be a cameo only. Like we saw Sonya and Jax are
I
cameo
agree.
characters.
I agree. I think that would upset a lot of people. I feel like, in like
Exactly. That's exactly
yeah, like in Mortal Kombat 9, I think there was a map called the Pit, and
correct.
you saw, I
Famous
think,
map.
what was it, Rain in the background, but he wasn't in the game. No, was it Rain or Smoke? I forgot who it was.
There was
And it's
somebody
just,
else in the background. Rain
yeah, but
eventually became DLC. It wasn't Rain. It
maybe
was
it was
somebody
Mortal
else.
Kombat 10. Actually, I'm talking about whatever. The point is, characters are in the background fighting. It's like, yo, if you're gonna put them in the background, might as well put them in the game. So stuff like that. I think for me, I've always wanted, I love Ed Boon and how, like, they go out of their way to bring, characters. They brought Jason, they brought Freddy, they bring, who else did they bring?
That's
All
what
these
leaked.
people.
Yeah,
Huh?
this time around that's what leaked.
That's what.
That's like the
That's what's
big
crazy
leak.
how fast that leaked. But
It was
for
Amazon,
your,
no?
yeah, it was Amazon that leaked it, man. Where was it actually? It was Amazon UK. Was it? I'm not too sure
I
on
think
that,
so. I
but
think you're right. Yep.
it's just it's whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Can't complain. But for all you Halloween fans, Michael Myers fan, Ed Boon actually tweeted. He said they've really tried to bring him into the game, but it's a lot of, I guess, like
Right.
legal stuff. I have no idea. Yeah, rights. So,
That would have
but
been
man,
cool. That
but
would have been cool
Michael
if they
doesn't
had
move
done it
that
in Mortal
fast,
Kombat
right?
X. I know, but they made
Yeah,
Jason work.
Jason. Yeah,
So Mortal Kombat X is my favorite because of that. Not only is the gameplay great, but also the characters, the DLC characters. They had Leatherface, they had Alien, they had Predator. Hey, shout out to Alien versus Predator. They literally
shout out
had
your shirt.
yeah, they had Alien and Predator, and then
Yeah.
they had Jason, and then Freddy was in the game prior. So one of the big pushes, and this would be amazing. This has been all over the internet. You can see it all over Reddit. You can see it all over. Pretty much everybody talks about it. Is like if Warner Brothers or if NetherRealm decided to make a horror game, how cool would that be if they basically took all the existing characters that they've already done? So in this case, Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, Alien, Predator. That's already five characters.
Yeah,
Make an
yeah.
entire horror fighting game like that. How cool would that be?
I think that would be
A lot of potential.
amazing. They've done DC, so like I think
Yeah,
I
they did
think
it
it'd be a
justice.
nice touch on it. They do a good job, man. Yeah, I'm very excited about this game. I feel like I have a fresh start at it. I did love Mortal Kombat 11. I love the story mode. I love the aftermath and all that stuff. But I wish I had more investment in it in terms of time. Like there were so many games that are coming out, but like for this one, I don't know. I feel like I guess because it's also like one, like I feel like it's like a fresh start, and
You have an
it's
excuse to dive in again.
dive in again. And I played these. This is my childhood here, and it's like release date is September 19th. But if you pre-order for the premium edition or the collector's edition, you get to play it September 14th, and that's right around the corner if you really think about it.
Yeah, I mean,
And
they wasted no time in announcing this because I mean, granted they waited a long time to announce it, but I mean, like
yeah,
this has been a game, or I guess the game that they've done this, I guess the closest where they announce a game and they release it in 3 months.
yeah,
For example, we knew about Street Fighter 6 a year ago,
yes,
and it just
yes,
came out, and
yeah,
we've known about Tekken for a while, and that hasn't come out yet. But Mortal Kombat just got announced and already has a release date that's in 3 months.
yeah.
Which I'm happy because again we've been waiting for so long.
You know me. I'm a fan of that. I love it when things are announced and it's like coming right around the corner. So
Yeah,
Ed Boon, he obviously was teasing too much, but I guess it pays off. It's kind of sucks because he didn't say anything, but everybody knew like he has to announce something. It's the anniversary, blah blah blah. It's
yeah.
like it was inevitable. So yeah, I mean I'm excited for it. I'm going to pre-order it. I think I'm gonna get I don't know if I want the collectors to be honest with you. Maybe I'll
I
get the
never
premium
get the
edition.
collectors, but the premium edition is always worth it because you always want the DLC characters and stuff like that.
Without question, without question.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna be pretty cool. So if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, pre-order
Shout out to
September
your brother.
14th.
I used to kick his ass.
I don't know, man. My brother's pretty nasty. My brother's
I don't know. Okay, I will
not
say
because he's my
I didn't,
brother. Go ahead.
I will say he probably could get me in Mortal Kombat 11, but he wasn't touching me in Mortal Kombat 10 though.
Are you sure? I think I was there.
Yeah, we could. No, we could put that on the record, man. We could put that on the record.
Listen,
I
I
think
would
by the
love to.
time we played, also, I already had stopped playing, but he knows. He knows. He
Yeah,
knows.
regardless, I think you both are pretty good, but no one's better than me. But it is what it is. I can't wait for this one. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Um, you have anything else to add to that before we move
No,
on?
no. I just want to say shout out to your brother.
Shout out, Ace, shout out, Ace. Moving on. Since we're talking about some gory stuff, I want to talk about Terrifier 3 here for a little bit. Now we know Terrifier 2. We touched it on this podcast. It was a success box office wise. It had a
All the news about it. There was so much things that
man. It's all the news.
It was bad, good press. If that makes any sense, right?
Yeah, it was bad, good press. Like a lot of people
like,
saying
I'm
it was
throwing up in the
terrible.
movie theater.
Yeah, but it went to get on in $15 million global, 15 million globally, 10 million in the United States. They're calling it a threequel. I don't know if I like that word.
I don't understand what that means. I
saw say trilogy. Just say trilogy. Like
no, I think no. So the problem with saying trilogy is that you're implying it's going to end. And last I heard, interview with the creator, I don't think this is going to be the last one. And obviously, you don't want to commit to that. You don't want to commit to that.
Okay, so you're differentiating. Okay, cool. That makes a lot more sense.
That's why maybe a threequel instead of saying trilogy, because trilogy would imply like this is the end. Trilogy is like 3 movies. That's it.
Yeah, but I feel like there's so many trilogies out there that never really ended after 3. So it's like
but they were kind of meant to and then brought back.
Yeah, I
Scream
guess
as an example.
But Terrifier 3, it has been announced director Damien Leone and producer Phil Falcone will return. The David Howard Thornton is going to be still Artie the Clown, and
they can't change him. That's impossible.
They can't. Yeah, I think he plays it disturbingly well. He's great
too good.
at it.
He's too good.
And
Also, Lauren. Lauren Lavera.
Yeah, Roland Vera. I told you I liked her character. I thought she was pretty good. There were some moments obviously that were but I think especially for the first film, especially for the first one, like she's a huge step up. So I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be gory. We're gonna expect that. The filming is gonna begin November, December, and they're aiming to release it in late 2024. They're saying they have a huge budget compared to the second one.
Yeah, so that's what I'm more excited about. I'm excited to see what they do with a huge budget, because imagine with what they did with a small budget, like that was so impressive.
That was very impressive.
Imagine with a big budget. So but I also hope I don't want to say this. I don't even want to put this out there, but I hope they don't try to try to go mainstream. Like now it's like less gory than before, sort of thing. No, they can't do that. I feel like they've already had too much success with what they're doing. If you kind of condemn yourself to a lane when you do that, though.
Exactly. But the thing is also, when you think of Terrifier, you think of gore. You think of
that's
absolute
what it is.
Disgust. If you were to ask me, or okay, maybe not me, but somebody else, like, hey, do you know what's the plot? You'd be like, no, I don't know, bro. There's a clown that's walking around killing people. Well, that's it. That's how it's sad to say, because I like a story, but it's sad to say, but
it's a creepy
this is what that is. So like, let that be it. So I don't know. I'm excited for it.
I'm excited too, for sure. I think this movie releases in theaters during Halloween time of 2024. Yes. I think it's going to be huge. I can't wait to see more Art the Clown costumes and everything. And post it in the comments, or tweet at us or retweet at us if I should get a Art the Clown tattoo.
Oh, that would be sick.
Maybe I'll do it. I got a lot of space.
But your whole body's going to be all these horror icons, I'm telling you.
I got some plans for a couple more. I'll keep teasing them. The major ones. I gotta get Ghostface, right? I gotta get Ghostface.
Bro, you gotta get Ghostface. You gotta get Chucky. Yeah, you got to. There's no question. You have to. But that's Terrifier 3. Everybody, let us know if you're looking forward to it. Moving on. What are we talking about next?
Well, we're talking about threequels, whatever you want to call them, or trilogies, right?
Yeah.
And we got some news, and this is kind of expected if you saw the movie, because there was a tease at the end, right?
Yes.
Hocus Pocus 3 has been confirmed. It is happening at Disney. And they want the original cast back.
As they should. Like, I'm so happy for Hocus Pocus.
I have a couple questions, though. because the Sanderson sisters have now become good in a way, right? So like, how do you really bring them back and still keep? I feel like if you bring them back, you can establish them as a villain, but also you also have that other witch that was out there,
Yes,
um,
yes, yeah.
and I guess the cool thing that I read, and sorry if I'm going on a tangent here, I'm not letting
No,
you
keep
speak,
going, please.
but they want to bring the original cast back, like from the
Yes,
original Hocus Pocus, which was
yes,
my only critique about the second movie. I was like, I wanted to see, um, the girl grown up,
yeah, yeah.
and the
Danny,
main
Danny,
guy,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Danny, what's his name?
Who?
Max,
Danny?
Max,
Matt. So Danny's the girl. Max is
yeah, Max and Danny.
yeah, Max. Is Danny. Here's my thing. Hocus Pocus 2 was such a success for Disney. It was like top, top in numbers. So Betty Midler, Kathy Najimy, if I'm saying her last name right, and Sarah Jessica Parker collectively, are happy to do another film. Like very happy to do it. But they all keep saying we don't know what's the story going to be. Like how are they gonna do it? We don't know. Like that's all they're saying. They were even saying to a point where it could possibly be animated, and if they should head in that direction. No, I don't think they should do that. The
Yeah, I don't
reason
think you
why
do that at
Hocus
this point.
Pocus 2 was such a success is because you had people like that seen it in 1993 now have kids and have them introduced to it, and now like you cannot have a Hocus Pocus 3 without the original cast. That's just my opinion. And as for story, you have a great point, but if there's anything that I know is that anything can happen. Like I mean, anything can happen when it comes to these type of
I
questions.
get it, but I feel like they reached a turning point at the end of the third movie where like, remember, she was sad that her sisters weren't around, and um, like the whole ending of the movie is kind of like,
Yeah,
I feel like they've already been redeemed. I don't know how you can um
come back from
bring
it.
them back and bring them
Absolutely.
back and still have them be bad.
Yeah, Kathy and Jimmy said, she initially turned down the concept of the third movie. She said, "We've pulled every story you could pull out of this. I guess never say never. I don't know that the plans are. I don't know what the plans are for a third one, but I know fans are dedicated to this film, and I'm just happy to bring it to them. So they want to do it, but they have the same question that you ask, and I ask it too. It's like I don't know what can happen, but I feel like that doesn't hold me back. Like I feel like Sean Bailey, who is the president of Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, he confirmed it. It's like officially in development. Like they're working on this ASAP because they don't want them to get older either. So
It's a
I'm
smart move. If
excited
you're gonna
for
do
it.
it, you do it now.
Yeah, do it now. Like, what are you gonna wait for? They're like, what are they like 78 and she's 66? Like, come on, like you
Is she really
gotta.
that old?
Betty Miller 8,
Damn, I
and
didn't realize she was that old.
yeah, yeah. I
Can
mean,
they bring back the talking cat? What's his name in the movie?
Thackeray Binks.
Can you please bring back Thackeray?
Yeah, he was a G.
I
I
just
mean,
there was a cat there, but he didn't talk.
yeah, true. I liked it. I liked Hocus Pocus too a lot. Very nostalgic for me. It like brought a lot
It
of
is
good
very
memories back.
nostalgic, but it's I don't know. It's one of those movies where like the original is so good.
No, the original
Like
was
it's
amazing.
so fucking
Amazing. I
good.
just love
Like
Halloween. I love anything
I
Halloween.
no yeah, I love the Halloween atmosphere 100%. But the original Hocus Pocus is so fucking good that I like
Amazing. You cannot
it.
skip it every time it comes on.
I know exactly, but it's hard for me to compare it to like the second one. Like yes, the second one is good, but like the first one is so good. The
Of
first one is
course,
just
of course.
a perfect movie for
I'm
me. Like
just.
I
I think
love
when
it. It's like you mentioned, I watch it every year. Like it's a
yeah.
must.
I think when a movie comes out, what was it like 20, 30 years after, like the original, I don't my thought is not to compare it. My thought is more of just like, can it live up to it? I think the movie has to be really good for me to compare it. And Hocus Pocus 2 was really good. I'm not gonna lie, but no, the first one is just the first one, man. You cannot
Exactly.
like
That
you can't
that's
mess with
that's
that.
that's just it for me. It's just like
Nah, you can't. You can't.
I don't want to put the movie down, the second one
Of
down, but
course
it's
not.
just the first one is just that good.
But yeah. So Hocus Pocus 3. Hopefully, we'll get more news along the way, and I'm very excited. Hopefully they release it probably. Well, they have to release it during the same time, September. Like September, October,
Yeah.
just in time for fall. So I'm for it. I'm definitely for
If
it.
they can do things fast, it is still possible they release it next year.
I mean, it's in development officially, so let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Depends on how fast they film and produce and everything else. So yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Halloween, we got to talk about our guy, David Gordon Green.
Yes. I heard about this, and I think I can say this. I can say this, right? right? Right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we can, it's out everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's tweeting about it. There's no reason why we can't talk about it.
No, I just meant like so. We're talking about The Exorcist, right?
Mm-hmm.
David Gordon Green.
Believer.
He's making a new Exorcist movie. And whether you guys like to believe it or not, because I know a lot of people fought me in the comments section a couple months ago when I said I saw Halloween ends early. A lot of people did not believe me. Um, I did get invited to see Exorcist early.
Yes. Oh, you did.
I can say that.
Yes,
I can
yes.
say that. I can
Yeah.
say that. Right? There's no. I didn't sign anything. I can say
Mm-hmm.
I was invited to see Exorcist early, and that's we're kind of talking about what the impressions were, right? So the big news is the Exorcist Believer is
Yeah,
what
it's
it's
calling a
called
believer. Yeah, it's
is
yeah,
received some bad impressions.
yeah.
Right? Like
So yeah, did you see it or did you not see it though?
I did not see it. No.
Yeah,
If
so
I
you
if
didn't
I
see it. So
if
you're
I
more than you can talk about it if you didn't see
yeah
it.
yeah
That's
had I
not a problem.
seen it, I would have been able to talk about it.
Yeah, you would have
I was
signed it.
invited, but it was a little bit far. I didn't know if it was worth it.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
once I saw the reactions, I was like, all right, then I made the
Think about
right
it.
decision.
So I want to hear your thoughts about this because you have seen Halloween Ends. You know, you've gotten the luxury of doing that, and I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions after I give you some details here. So, Exorcist Believer is written by David Gordon Green, and he's brought Danny McBride into this too. And this is a direct sequel to the original horror movie because The Exorcist had like I think 2-3 movies after it. So it is coming out this Halloween. Perfect time for that. There's a screening that took place, like you mentioned, it was in New York, and the results of that from fans were it wasn't good. And the reason why they said it wasn't good is because it was too long and they felt like it wasn't scary. They also went on to say that there was one excellent jump scare. Now, when asked, by fans, like, how can you rectify this issue, they were saying that maybe they can do reshoots. All right. So here's my thing. Here's another thing that
It's
kind of
always the
upsets
solution.
me. What? Yeah, it's always a solution, of course. Here's another thing that upsets me. Here's a quote that I read. While some touted the existence of at least one really good jump scare, others compared its failure to Green's Halloween trilogy, which garnered mixed reviews, particularly the much criticized Halloween Ends 2022. I like David Gordon Green. I don't have anything against him. I think this is a bad image for him, especially because you bring in now you have Halloween Ends being a disaster because of you per se, and now Exorcist, which is another classic movie, is being tainted with negative reviews. When you go into a screening like this and you see this, like, is hope lost for you? Like you seeing Halloween Ends, like I know that if I saw what I saw, I would be upset. Like I don't know, like how do you go about fixing this? How do you go about like I don't know. It's just it's terrible. Like reshoots only. Like that's what you're gonna do to try to fix a movie. I don't know. But so we're gonna go ahead and
Oh,
just
okay.
yeah.
Sorry, I muted my mic there and the button wasn't working.
No, you got you got.
But just to answer your question there, I mean, there's a couple things. First, I want to say, I would argue David Gordon Green, his first fuck up was Halloween Kills, not Halloween Ends.
Still disagree.
I know we'll forever have this disagreement, but with that being said, I think I saw Halloween Ends, and again, we have conflicting opinions. I liked it more than I liked Halloween Kills. But even with the things that I didn't like, you try to basically just give your honest opinion and give them the feedback, right? They'll ask you a couple questions, tell you, what parts did you like, what parts that you didn't like, and you hope that maybe there's things that they left on the cutting room floor, or maybe they do reshoots. But honestly, it really depends on how much of the film you didn't like, because certain things are like unredeemable. Like if more than half the movie is not entertaining, or like they mentioned is not scary, it's gonna be very difficult to just all of a sudden make it scary.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if they're saying it's too long and it's not scary, it's like I feel like you would have to add more things to that. And like filming is done, you can't refilm. Reshoot
They can do reshoots, but the problem with that is I have mixed feelings about reshoots, because sometimes you can obviously tell they're reshoots. Like you can tell things are shoehorned in, like. This part doesn't feel like it flows with the rest, or you can see that this actress or this actor looks slightly different from one scene to another, sort of thing. And I don't know. You have to know what the audience is too. There's a lot of layers there, because like I want to say like you can't always trust your audience in the sense of like there have been changes that we don't know if they were for the better. For example, we hear the rumored ending of the original Halloween,
Right, right.
and they changed that. We know that the ending of the original Halloween was actually a reshoot.
Yeah.
Um, I when I hear it on paper, it doesn't sound bad.
They should
I
have
don't
that
know.
in a vault somewhere. A vault
I,
somewhere where you can see it.
but you see, when it's just a part like that, I guess that's not that bad. But like again, this is the entire. This is
Entire
like they
movie.
mentioned the
Yeah.
entire movie.
Yeah. It's
Um, I just hate that they don't release these fucking like they should. I get it that they're reshoots and they don't want to consider them like canonical. They should still include them in the Blu-rays as not deleted scenes, like alternate ending sort of thing. Like Halloween
I agree.
2018 should have totally had a alternate ending. You don't have to make it canon, but you shot it, might as well show it, right?
I agree.
Um, and maybe the same thing for Halloween Ends.
I agree.
Um,
I feel like it's also a safety net for you. It's like, let's say you mess up, right? And people really don't like your ending, but you had the alternate ending. People would be like, oh yeah, he could have used that, and you still get the credit for it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still like I
yeah,
get you're the director, but like you made that scene happen. It's just maybe you didn't. David Gordon Green is known for this. He's even said for Halloween Ends, he goes, every day I change something. He goes, every day like it's something can be different for me. Like
but that's also not good. That
it's
means like
not.
sometimes
It's clearly not.
sometimes it's better to release when you think it's done than work on it constantly.
Yeah, because I
And
feel
I
like when you
think
look
the
at
main
something too
difference
much, you get
here is
nothing from it.
I think the main difference is here is that Halloween was a much easier movie to make. And again, in this case, I'm only comparing it to the first Halloween remake. Or it's not, I guess, sequel, 2018 Halloween.
Yeah.
In comparison to this, because again, it's basically the same idea where this is a continuation of the original Exorcist, the same way Halloween was a continuation of the original Halloween. Um, I think Halloween was an easier movie to make than Exorcist, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad in a sense, but it's also at the same time, you got to learn. You got to learn from mistakes, and unfortunately, Halloween Ends for me is a huge mistake, and yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Hopefully they can try to fix it somehow. Maybe like you mentioned, reshoots or something. But I'm still gonna watch it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
That is Exorcist Believer.
Yes, Exorcist
Um,
Believer direct sequel.
I guess we've been meaning to talk about this, and we spoke about it a while, but I want to mention it since we're on, I guess, the topic of upcoming horror movies. The Boogeyman, right? That's officially out. But
Yes.
we want to say we haven't actually seen it. I haven't seen it yet. It is on my to-do list.
Yes.
It's probably gonna be the next movie that I'm gonna watch in the movie theater.
Yes.
Maybe after The Little Mermaid, only because I've kind of committed to that. But yeah. So the Boogeyman, and
Yeah.
I think this is a good opportunity as well, because who do we know is in the Boogeyman?
My girl from Yellow Jackets,
Exactly. So
Natasha.
Sophie Thatcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sophie Thatcher, who's in the Boogeyman and is in Yellow Jackets, and we haven't gotten a chance to actually conclude our Yellow Jackets chapter.
Yeah. There's something I gotta add to that for sure.
There's been 3 episodes, I believe, that we have not spoken about. Correct
Yes.
me if I'm wrong.
Correct. There's 3 episodes we haven't spoken about, possibly a fourth. But
Yes,
yeah.
yes. But well, again,
Um,
that's to be released.
to be released, to be released. But no, sticking to Boogeyman here, I feel like Boogeyman crept up on me. Like I feel like from CinemaCon when it was announced, like I feel like I didn't know much about it, and then I see this trailer, I'm like, oh shit, it looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
It did. It did. I was excited
It
to watch the
looks.
Boogeyman. And I'm still
I
excited
read
to see it.
exactly.
Just we've been busy.
We've been busy, and it's fairly new. I think it's a week out, so we're gonna watch it, and we will definitely talk about it, if that's something everyone's interested in. But we would like to talk about it. But I think when I read the synopsis, I read it here on the podcast, and I was like, all right, 2 girls home alone, blah blah, this that, and I'm just like, whoa! When I saw the trailer, I'm like, that's pretty. It looked pretty scary. It looked pretty creepy. Stephen King,
Yep.
man, you can't count this stuff out. It's pretty good. I'm actually very excited to see this one.
Yeah, but that's exactly it. It's Stephen King, so I'm excited solely because it's I guess a take on the original quote unquote Boogeyman, and
Yeah.
Sophie Dasher, like we mentioned, is in it. it looks it actually looks scary. So I'm excited. I haven't seen any reviews or anything. I've been kind of steering clear purposely.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll do a deeper breakdown.
absolutely, absolutely. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Another big name, Tim Burton. Tim Burton's Beetlejuice.
Oh
Um,
yes, go. Oh my God, I'm here. Like, what are we talking about? I thought we were gonna go into Yellow Jackets. Okay.
no, no,
Uh,
no, no. We'll get to Yellow. If you want to get to Yellow Jackets, we can get to Yellow Jackets. But I figured
I,
since we're talking
I
about big
gave you the
names,
perfect segue from Sophie Thatcher to Yellow Jackets, and you went straight to Beetlejuice. But we're here. We're
I
here.
need time for Yellow
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice,
Jackets.
Beetlejuice,
I need
Beetlejuice,
some time.
Beetlejuice,
Yeah.
Beetlejuice, 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 Beetlejuice. I said it 9 times, not three, but still. Yes, they're making a Beetlejuice. We spoke about this a
Yes.
little bit before.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. 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 Yes.
did we say Wednesday? What's her name?
No, Jenna Ortega. So
Yeah,
here
Ortega's
some
in it.
news, some concrete news here. So Beetlejuice 2 is officially a go. Tim Burton is coming back. He's gonna make the sequel, direct it. Jenna Ortega, who has been part of Tim Burton's Wednesday Netflix series, is being casted. She's been casted as Winona Ryder's daughter, Lydia's character, Lydia's daughter, which I think is cool because obviously we've seen Jenna Ortega in Wednesday, and she definitely earned that part. I'm excited, man. They're bringing back the old cast. They're bringing back what you call it.
I'm
Michael
excited to
Keaton.
see how they do this. And Michael Keaton said that they're making it exactly like they did the original. So I guess that adds a little bit more hope. Um, I'm always a little weary about these sort of things because I love Beetlejuice so much, and it's such a
Beetlejuice is
eerie
complex, man.
slash
Not a lot of
weird
people
movie.
like it.
Yeah, because it's such a weird movie. I
I
like it.
love it. It is so
I
weird.
love
Like
it.
when you tell
I
somebody, yo,
think
you
it's like
gotta
a
watch Beetlejuice, and like they see it, some people are like, this is what you want me to watch, and it's so because it's all over the place. It's so weird, and it's
I
like
wonder. I wonder if it's because I'm a '90s baby, and I just like I remember Beetlejuice.
that's
Like,
definitely it, man. I'm telling
yeah,
you, that's
like
what it is. Like that's definitely it. But you're right. Like they're gonna continue the story, and it's like, how do you do it? But I trust it. I feel like that element, that formula of weirdness is gonna pay off for them. They have a couple of people there. I think I'm surprised that some cast members. You got William Defoe being in there. He's gonna play an afterlife law enforcement officer, which is kind of funny to me. Yeah, I mean they're getting starting it. They got started on it already. May 10th, they had production. In the UK, they had set to release it September 4th of next year. But there was a strike going on. They're trying to say that they're not on pause, but they're still aiming for September 4th, which is good for them because Marvel had Blade to be released at that time, and Blade did get pushed off because of the strike. So, I mean, Blade keeps getting pushed off regardless. So, like, there's no competition there. So that's good for them. But even Catherine
I
O'Hara, she's coming back. I'm like, what?
everyone,
It's crazy.
everyone's coming back.
Man.
I just want to hear Beetlejuice. I want to see Michael Keaton. It's one of
Yeah.
those things where like if they can keep the same vibe and weirdness that they did with the original, then by all means. But that's I guess what scares me is that it's just one of those movies that I feel like it's very late '80s, early '90s, and I don't know how they're gonna do it now. Um, but again, this is one of those movies. We mentioned Hocus Pocus. This is almost up there with Hocus Pocus for me. Where like I love this movie and I watch it so often, but I know that it's not for everyone. It's very strange.
Yeah, it's.
But I'm a big fan.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. It's not for everybody, but I think it's so iconic and it's so like it's definitely cemented its place in like
Michael Keaton's performance is just amazing.
dude. That's got to be hard. And like he was saying, I think this is his second role that he's reviving with Tim Burton, and he's like, he enjoys doing it. He says, I love doing it. I can't wait for people to see what they have and stuff. So like I'm excited. I'm definitely excited for it.
I hope there's a lot of Beetlejuice. I hope there's just a lot of Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Beetlejuice. But yeah, that's Beetlejuice.
That's Beetlejuice 2 or
What do we
whatever.
move on to now?
I'll let you decide from our.
All right, we can go to something that was fairly announced recently. Friday the 13th. Yeah, you make a
So
face there. Why are you making
kind
that
of,
face, my man?
kind of bitter news. But there is some sort of light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
Um,
So I'm gonna go ahead and just read the statement that they had tweeted. Um,
yeah.
the game that had tweeted. It's pretty long, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just you know summarize it for you. The time has come. Our license to Friday the 13th will expire on December 31st, 2023. On that date, Friday the 13th, the game will no longer be available for sale both physically and digitally. Blah, 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 blah. Let's get to that. We would like to thank our community for the dedication they've shown to the Friday the 13th game and Gun Interact. Gun Interactive as a whole, excuse me, and we are happy that the game will live on a while longer and continues to be enjoyed by anyone owning the game already. What do I take from this? Buy physical games. Don't buy them digitally. But
Well, they said if you own it still, I guess you still have access to it. So I think it doesn't matter whether
well,
you own
how
it
though?
physically or digitally.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah,
You just
whatever.
can't buy it anymore. But I
But
have to say, I really like this game, and as somebody who can say I backed this game on Kickstarter, like I was one of I don't know how many people backed it, of course, because it's it's still Friday the 13th, so it was huge. But I backed this game when it was an idea. I have the limited edition Jason skin to prove it. Um, I was a big fan of the game. I know it was like their first project, and I know they did a lot of things to make it authentic. Between all the different Jasons, and having Kane Hodder come back and do
yep, yep,
the all the what do you call it, the physics and stuff for
yeah.
Jason. Um, I'm a big fan. It's sad that it's come to this point. I know there's a lot of politics and stuff with the licenses, but I guess well, what I would like to focus on more than this ending is that there are rumors that there is going to be another Friday the 13th game.
Yes. So horror composer Harry Manfredini he told Rely on Horror that an unannounced game based on the franchise is currently in development. Now Harry Manfredini has been part of the score for Friday the 13th franchise. Nothing else has been released, so but I think this would be enough to kind of get you excited. I do believe that fans have been through so much when it comes to this game that they deserve.
Not even this game, this entire franchise, the movies and
Of
everything.
course, of
Between
course.
between them now making a TV show or multiple
Yeah,
TV shows, and the
yeah,
rights kind of being split up between younger Jason, older Jason, the name Jason, um, so many different
terrible.
things. It's
So
very unfortunate what's happened, but
very,
I
very.
just I just hope that um, they they see what happened with this game, and they you know maybe keep some of the same things. I know it's not the same team making it. The team has now moved on. They're now making that new Texas Chainsaw game, which I
Mm-hmm.
am excited for.
Yep.
But I believe he mentioned also that it was going to be. Well, I think I read something where it was like better. It's going to look a lot better or whatever.
Of course,
But
I
for
don't
me,
doubt
it's
it. It's
more.
been years since so
Yeah,
like
yeah. I say that to say for me, it's more important that it just plays as good because I really enjoyed the gameplay aspect of the Gun Media's Friday the 13th game, and it was
mm,
very unique. And when it comes to this asymmetrical sort of horror, where it's one killer and other uh, campers or counselors, whatever you want to call them, um, there's not many games that do it, man. Dead by Daylight is the only one that has
it's
been
dope.
successful with it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a great game. Don't get me wrong, but like to me, I really enjoyed some of the aspects of the Friday the 13th game. Like
yeah, yeah.
early on, I played that game so much. Um,
Oh
it
my
had
god.
proximity chat if you had a
Yes.
walkie-talkie, and I think this might have been before Call of Duty even had proximity chat.
Yeah.
Before like Warzone had proximity chat. I like the idea of like getting the gas, filling up the car, calling the
Escaping.
yeah, escaping, and
Tommy coming. Yeah,
yeah, you
yeah. Of
call the
course.
radio and Tommy comes. Like there were a lot of cool aspects, and kind of the way that you could kind of secretly kill Jason, and there was an
Yeah.
altar with a sweater. Um, I love the detail that they put into it, and I just hope whoever takes this project moving forward has the same attention to detail. Um, I could care less about graphics. Dead by Daylight is a great example of graphics mean nothing, because the game has been selling like crazy. They make DLC and they've added almost every character, and it doesn't look amazing. It has a
Yeah,
certain art
yeah.
style,
But it's freaking
um,
fun to play.
but it's fun to play.
I agree. I
That's the
absolutely
most
agree.
important thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I hate that I'm agreeing with you, but I'm agreeing with you. It's just like, we want somebody who loves the franchise as much as the fans and gives them, you know, the feeling that they're in the game, they're in the franchise themselves. So it's like,
Exactly.
but again, like they've been through so much. It's like you gotta make up
And
for it.
I feel like to your point, I can tell that those who created or the entire studio who created the Friday the 13th game, I believe their name is Gun Media. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yep. The gun,
they
no, the
they
Gun
re-
Interactive.
Gun Interactive.
Yeah,
Maybe at one point they were Gun Media, but you could tell they were fans of the series.
yeah,
You could tell just by the attention to detail. Like it was just something like that is just so authentic that you can't replicate it. You can't just make a game and have it be that detailed and I guess realistic. I don't say realistic, but I mean honorable to the franchise in a way where like
mm-hmm.
it feels like yes, this is what Friday the 13th is.
Yeah,
Um, and I just want to say shout out to them. They made a great game. It's unfortunate that it's coming to an end. But as somebody who backed the game from the very beginning, and hats off, it was a great game. I will play if I hope they never turn off the servers. Whenever I have a squad, I'll try to always play that game. Um, I, if you want to get the game now, I believe they have a flash sale. They decreased the
yes.
price to like $5 or something like that.
So
Um,
at this time, we made the decision to reduce the price to $4.99 for the base game and 99 cents for each piece of DLC content.
Yeah, I might go back honestly and buy every DLC content, just for the sake of making sure I have everything. I already
Yeah,
have the game. I low key regret not getting like the physical game and stuff just to have like something tangible,
yeah,
from like the Kickstarter and all the stuff that they included. But again, hats off to them. They made a great game. It's unfortunate it's gotten to this point where like they couldn't continue to support the game and now they're losing the license.
yeah.
But I
That's
would definitely
unfortunate.
say if you're a fan of the series, I really like this game. Asymmetrical horror, very similar to something like Dead by Daylight. Definitely give it a shot. And yeah, buy it now. It's $5, and you have to the end of this year. You have a couple
Yeah,
months. You have a couple months to
yeah.
do it.
I don't. I hope the servers don't go out.
No, so I think the servers are. I don't know if they gave a date on the servers. It might have been like an additional year or additional two
Yeah,
years.
2024 probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
but
game will, however, continue to function through at least December 31st, 2024.
there you go. So they've at least confirmed that they're gonna get at least another year of support, which is great.
Hmm.
With these sort of things, I just hope. Like, I wish I had the following. I really do because this is a game where like I love it so much. I hope that similar to something like Among Us, where like somebody just played it and then they made it popular. I hope
Yeah,
a
yeah,
famous streamer just decides to say like, I'm gonna play Friday the 13th game and get everybody on the board on board with it
mm,
because it's just that good.
yeah,
Um, and I'm gonna play it while I can. And if anything, like I mentioned, this is just an opportunity to get the game at a discounted price, buy all the DLC for me, and I'll probably the closer we get to Halloween, the more of these games we're gonna be playing,
of
and
course, of course.
I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna play Friday the 13th. I have a couple people who already have it. I
My
might
brother played
start
a
buying.
lot too, man. My brother played
I
a
might
lot.
another point. Again, this is a discounted price. I might buy a couple keys and start sending them to people. Like, hey, you
Yeah,
know, through Steam you can buy keys for other people. I might take all my friends and be like, hey, even if we don't play this right now, hold this key for now,
yeah,
just to save it. Never know,
yeah,
man. It's a great game, and I honestly really really love it.
yeah, yeah. It's sad to see something like this happen, but we're hopeful for the future, and just got to keep praying at this point. What are you gonna do?
Yep,
So that's Friday the 13th,
that is Friday the 13th, the game.
the game. What do you got next for me, or how we doing?
So I mean, I want to go into Yellow Jackets, but I also don't want to take too much
Too much
time.
time. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
feel you. I feel you. So tell you what we can do is cover it next time, possibly next episode. Um,
there is one other thing I want to say.
Talk to me.
It was just his birthday. This man right here on my arm.
Robert Englund's birthday was on June 6th, everybody. He turned 78?
I don't know his
I
age.
believe,
I know
yes,
his birthday.
78. He turned 78. And
Yeah.
he celebrated it. How do you celebrate it? With Hollywood something, The Rise. I'm butchering this right now completely. I'll go ahead and take a look at this. But all Freddy Krueger stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say, Robert Englund, we've known him for, he's made cameos on a couple different things. We recently saw him in Stranger Things.
76.
76.
Yes.
We recently saw him in Stranger Things. Of course, known for playing Freddy Krueger. Shouts out to him. I know they also asked him about, like, playing Freddy again, and he was like, just can't do it anymore. His
You
body won't
can't.
allow it.
And he's honest, man. I like that about him. He's a G, man. He knows. He's like, yo, I can't do it anymore. I'm physically not fit. And like,
Yeah, it makes sense, but by any means. But I do think it's one of those things where like nobody's ever gonna replace him. As much there will be another Freddy, I guarantee you that. But no, it's never gonna be. He was Freddy. Like
he's the
Freddy.
face. He's the face.
He's the embodiment of Freddy. That casting choice, man.
Yeah.
They hit the nail head on,
right, bro. He's great at it. He portrayed him so well, so eerie, and yeah, like you told me. I think you responded to a tweet of mine about Bill Skarsgård possibly filling in his shoes. I'm not saying I want to see that. All I'm saying is Bill Skarsgård would be good,
creepy.
no doubt.
You're basically saying. You're saying he's just a creepy looking guy.
He's a creepy. No, it's not that, but he's good. He's good at in the roles.
I'm sorry, Bill
takes,
Skarsgård.
But there's only one Freddy.
Bill Skarsgård. If you're
Robert.
into this, I think you're actually a very handsome man. I don't think you look like Freddy Krueger.
He's gonna give you the what you call it, the Pennywise look.
He does have that scary, like his eyes, and yeah, he has the whatever. We saw him as it. We saw him as Pennywise. I don't want to get too much in a tangent, but it was just to say, I if somebody's gonna take it, I would love to be somebody who didn't already play another horror icon. I don't want somebody who's known for like playing every horror icon.
I agree. I think I agree.
But yes, shout out to Robert Englund. Hats off to you, man, my guy. Like 76, you said?
Yeah, 76, man. God bless. Let's go.
76-year-old birthday.
You just got him on your tattoo over there. Now Tommy has a sick tattoo. I mean, like a sick tattoo. He's got Michael, he's got Jason, he's got Freddy, and
it's been some time.
Yeah,
it's been some time.
It's so detailed.
We haven't recorded in a while. I started with Michael, so Michael was the first piece, and then about 2-3 weeks ago, I did Jason. Got this little moon and the clouds behind him, and actually today I did Freddy.
Nice. Very nice.
He's definitely the most detailed. If I flex, it's kind of hard to do right now because the Tajoderm wrap is kind of like holding it down, and my arm feels stiff. But he is super detailed, and you can see his glove and everything. And I have the machete and then the knife here too.
We'll take more pictures. We'll post them on Instagram too, but in our Twitter account. But I think that looks sick. I mean, if there's a horror, tattoo better than that one, I'll owe you $100. There's no way.
No, I've seen a lot of sleeves, man.
Don't you dare put me down when I'm putting you up.
No. I mean, I'm just saying. I've seen a lot of sleeves. This was really good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy with the work. I'm really happy with the work. But I've seen a lot of sleeves. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. I do want to do probably later this year because again, this was a lot of hours already. I do want to do the rest of my arm, at least up into my wrist. And, definitely I want to do Ghostface. Definitely want to do Chucky. I have plans for Leatherface as well. So those three at least. Let me know who would you think could be a fourth. Art the Clown. I thought maybe...
Ghostface. Gotta be Ghostface. Has to be Ghostface.
No, I mentioned Ghostface. So Ghostface.
Yeah.
So the three for sure. Ghostface, Leatherface, and Chucky. A potential fourth, let me know what you guys think. Throw ideas at us. I was thinking maybe Pinhead, maybe Art the Clown, maybe Sam from Trick or Treat. Let me know. Yeah, I just like Sam's design a lot. I like Sam's little sack head design with the lollipop.
Maybe put one of these Fear Street characters in there too. Why not?
No, come on now. Don't do that to me. It's supposed to be iconic ones, man.
I know.
I feel like at this point, with 2 movies in, and fucking Art the Clown is pretty iconic.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, but we just spoke about Pennywise, so maybe Pennywise as well.
Pennywise, yeah, Pennywise, freaking iconic. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
But do you do the original or do you do the new
You have them both, like withholding one red
one?
balloon, but like
Don't do
no, red balloon, but
half
like
face, half
yeah, I think that'd be sick. What?
with the
I
balloon
just gave you
string
an
in the middle.
idea, bro. Fire.
Just draw it for me, bro. I got you.
Anyway, everyone, that's Tommy's sick ass tattoo. We'll be posting it more on our Instagram and Twitter for sure. We want to thank everybody for being back here with us on our podcast, whether you're listening to this or if you're watching this on YouTube. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube at Well That's Terrific, and at Twitter at That's Terrific, because if you don't,
Well, that's horrific.
peace.